False alarm. There we go. Good Saturday morning. Clear skies, high temperatures, high humidity. Already found out this morning, high mosquito population. And one big spider web as I got into my vehicle this morning. You ever done that? Opened the door and before I got to the door, I stepped right in it. And I looked up and I saw the spider, and he was climbing, trying to get away from me. And I'm just trying to get in the vehicle without too much of the web following me in there, especially the part he was on. It's always fun to step into those things, and they are when you live in the woods, it tend to have some of that, a little bit of everything. It is. We are in the dog days of summer, aren't we? Don't they start in the 20s, somewhere in the 20s in July? Brett won't even know what that is, except he's heard it in a song maybe.
Now, surely we've got there by now.
I hadn't seen a dog yet that enjoys these days. I think it starts in July and goes into August.
I hear about the dog days of August, but
is it okay?
But that don't mean
July 3rd.
I don't really know.
Yeah, you're right. We're about out of it.
Yeah. About out of
July 3rd
good.
to August 11th.
I hope that July 3rd to August 11th. I hope that is correct, that we are about out of them. But this is it's been some more summer. I saw the stats yesterday of the days over 90, and of course we still got a couple days left in July. But wasn't it around 20? I think
have no
out of
idea.
30. What is the date of today? Is the day the 30th?
Yep.
Yeah, today is the 30th, so just today and tomorrow. And I don't know, just by looking, I don't think that we're going to see 90 today. 88 is what it says. Now, that's going to flirt with it, so we could, actually go up and hit 90 again. But with all the ups and downs we've had, there are a few days, I'm looking right here, a few days in a row of 80s, but higher chances of rain. But on Tuesday, we go right back to 92, the higher all the way to Friday where it's 93. I mean, we're going to have, and then we're going to be into August. So we are by far a long way from the heat being behind us. So deal with it. That's about all you can do. We just got to deal with it and do the best we can, soak up as much AC or stay in that swimming pool as much as you can, for sure. Just taking a look at some of the things going on last night. We're going to talk a lot about major American Legion baseball today, something that we follow very closely this time of year. Talk about the state tournament. State finals are today. I'll go ahead and throw this out there at you so you'll know. It will be Wilmington, who was a 10-run winner last night over Fuquay, 14-4 in 6 innings. Wilmington will be taking on, how about this one, Queen City, newcomer. First time ever in the state tournament, and now has made it all the way to the championship, riding the arms of their pitchers. It's been unbelievable. To the two best teams supposedly in Area 3, 14 innings, they combined for 2 runs against that Queen City pitching. So, and I was trying to remember, Queen City, here's the ironic part. You go all the way back in the tournament, in the very first game, Wilmington and Queen City, the 10 o'clock game on the first day.
4-1.
And here they are meeting in the final game. I don't know if that pitching, where they stand or anything like that. Can they handle those Wilmington bats, because they seem to come to life last night. They are in position to win it. Yeah, I will say that. Queen City, and nobody else has a chance to beat Wilmington except for Queen City at this point. I know that Wilmington and Fuquay yesterday would have liked to have seen Randolph win that game, because it would have been an automatic berth for the winner. Yeah, been an automatic berth for the winner last night. Wilmington at that point would be in the regionals, but now they still have to beat Queen City. And that game, if you're wondering, I don't know. I got on Game Changer last night, and that's how I was following. Wilmington does put their game on Game Changer. The American Legion's doing it too, but I don't know how to find it. But Wilmington had their game on Game Changer, which, there are some things about Game Changer that are really good. I try to give the score when I'm doing a broadcast, not just at the end of the inning, but a couple times during the at-bat too, especially if the at-bat might be long. One thing about Game Changer, it's on there all the time. You can look and see, and you see every single pitch and what happens, and it's very detailed. But last night in that game, I'll tell you this much, there was a lot of walks, wild pitches in that third inning when Wilmington scored 7 runs to blow the game open. Walks, wild pitches, people just scoring at will without even hitting the ball. And then all of a sudden the bases are low but 2 outs and there's a 3-run double. So, that kind of opened things up, and then they just cruised to their win last night. Just, a 10-run win over a good Fuquay team. And also Fuquay, think about this, you're defending state champion,
Exactly. Right.
So.
And you used to talk about the walks and the hit batters. You don't know where they're at in their pitching, both sides. You have no clue if you hadn't been around them all year. You don't know.
And who has the deepest pitching? And sometimes you just don't really find out how good they are till you're facing a quality team.
You maneuver your pitching during the tournament. I know Cherville did. They maneuvered their some.
They did.
You kind of taking guesses of what's the I know that and who won the night before and where you playing at and who's pitching for the other opposing team. I know there's all kinds of strategy involved. If you're not there, you don't know. You just kind of guess through it.
And that means most of the time your veteran coaches do a little better because they have the experience of that kind of thing. And you're right; those coaches know to look for. Well, what am I if I put him in right now and he goes over 30 pitches? What am I going to do in game 3 or 4 or whatever?
And that makes it kind of even more. You talking about experienced coaching, more amazing for Queen City.
Right.
I'm not saying I don't know who the coach is. Maybe he's a veteran anyway, but just being there for the first time and manipulating where they're at now.
The one thing I would like to know, and I don't know the answer to this, have they used any relief pitchers?
Yeah.
Or is their guys going the distance in all 4 games? Because even in their loss, they only gave up 4 runs.
Right.
So, and their games have been low scoring. They beat Rowan 4-1. They beat who was it? They beat the next day after Rowan. It was
the first day and
they only gave up 1 run, whoever it was.
Well, they lost. Didn't you say they lost to Wilmington the first? Was
they had to beat Pitt County.
Yeah.
At some point, because that was a team. I can't remember what the score was. They had to beat Pitt County though in their pool play. But
one game was 10-7 with Pitt County, but I don't know if that was
that's
Queen
it.
City.
That's it.
I just remember.
And they had a bigger lead. They did give up 7 runs, so they might have
Pitt.
used multiple pitchers in that game. But but the last 2 days, going against Area 3's best, it makes me wonder: is Area 3 was it a little overrated this year? Because it seems like 4 out of every 5 years when you get Area 3's teams, they're going to be Randolph and Rowan.
Yeah, right.
But to hold those 2 teams back-to-back days to a run, 1 run in each game, and believe it or not, Lenny, I don't know if you know this, but Rowan's run it was a no-hitter till the 7th. They got their first hit in the 7th inning against Queen City on Thursday. And yesterday, the first run for Randolph didn't come till the 6th.
Well, and you made this comment, David, 3 weeks ago, or right before the playoffs started, said it's the most fundamental sound team you'd seen. And that came right out of your mouth.
And I think that's why they're there.
Long before it got to where they're at now. That was the comments you made.
And everybody says, well, Cherville beat them to win the area. Well, guess what? It was 5-4.
It was 5-4, and
could have went either way.
And you don't know how the pitching was going.
Mm-hmm.
Who was they throwing? We know Cherville threw Brockman's, but he didn't. Did he start? I don't even know if he finished.
He did. I think he threw the last 4 innings.
He finished.
Yeah.
So both of them might have been just
And in that area championship, Queen City got all 4 of their runs in 1 inning.
Mm-hmm.
You remember they took a 4-1 lead.
You can't measure how good what happened in that with a game where both of you're going.
Yep.
You're already in the state tournament.
But that, hey, I got it. Like you said, Queen City deserves a lot of credit. I'm going to sit here and tell you, I don't even know their head coach's name. I don't know who their coach is, but He seems to be doing a really good job.
I know Sarah Caitlin, the girl she went to school with last year. Her husband, I thought he was the manager, but he must be like kind of like Mark King. He's the general manager. He didn't coach, so I don't even know his name. But last year I know when.
As long as he's not like Steinbrenner.
But I don't know who it is. But
yeah, here's a couple things to take into consideration too. Did we ever determine that a Mecklenburg County team had not been to the state tournament since Pineville back in the early to mid 2000s, maybe 05, 06?
I don't think we did, but I cannot remember.
I can't either.
Anybody since Pineville, even close.
Will this give Mecklenburg a boost? It should give Queen City a boost.
Exactly. Yeah.
To get, the talk will be, look what we did. We were even if they don't win the state title, we were in the state championship game. You'd think some more guys may want to play.
You may not. I'm just based because you were down there and you saw them play some. But I'm sure you had a book with rosters. Are they a veteran team? Are they going to be?
Well, see, the rosters don't give you any
didn't tell
age.
That. Didn't tell that.
It does not give you any age.
I was kind of curious. I knew Cherville. I knew all along Cherville was young because
it's just one player they lose, right?
Right.
Yep. Only one player.
And I'm asking this because you were down there. I know they had an 18-man roster, but I seen at South Point multiple nights there were 17. So did somebody drop out along the way for them? But there's one night, a couple nights I counted it when it's South Point. It's 17. Could be somebody that was going to the beach or something. I don't know, but I counted 17 when they'd line up along the.
That'd be an odd time to go to the beach, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be that somebody. I don't know.
But
I'm like you. I don't know if they did. You know that they had 18 at one time?
Well, what I looked at
Reynolds usually carries 18.
I looked at the they submit the rosters and you can go online, and I looked at, and they had 18. And
okay.
Now whether that was
I wouldn't be able to.
Well, he went ahead and put 18 on there, and they were maybe 17 to start with.
I wouldn't be able to tell you who was missing.
Well,
I can say that. I wouldn't be able to tell you who was missing, but I mean, most time if it's not going to be a regular starter,
and I kind of think
that don't come back.
And I kind of think maybe I'm like you. He's a star and rising. I think it might have been early in the playoffs. Maybe Jenkins was gone, possibly, but
oh man, he has really stepped it up.
Yeah, he's a. And Bobby Dale was.
They didn't know we were having a little dinner the other night and discussing him a little bit, and they weren't sure. I can't believe Coach Reynolds. He wasn't exactly sure when his birthday was. He's hoping he gets that extra year, but he's got 3 more years no matter what.
Right.
So
no matter what.
Yep, could have a 4th year, and that's the younger brother of Chandler Jenkins, who went on to play at East Carolina. And the younger brother, Landon, is really burst onto the scene in the playoffs.
Right.
Really burst on in the playoffs. Was one of their top hitters and solid defense no matter where they insert him. He's kind of like a utility guy.
Right.
On the
and it really started in that comeback against the game 6 when he took Hahn. When he pulled Hahn to the mound in Game 6 of the Graston Braves game, and he inserted him, and then he had a RBI hit in that game. And when they were trying to catch up when they were down 5-0, and then did the same thing against. I don't think he started against Queen City, but when Brockman came in, the pitch.
Yeah, he plays wherever.
He went in. He
and
could play third, short, second.
I'm guessing that after next year, he's probably their shortstop.
Yeah,
I
would agree.
Next year, Hahn is the. And does Hahn graduate high school this year?
No, he's got another.
Well,
he's a junior.
So
he's a rising.
So he could be there 2 more years.
Yeah, I don't know his status, but he's a.
Yeah. Yeah, I did not realize that. Who also I thought I thought he burst onto the scene playoff time. I thought he played much better, hit the ball much better.
You and I were talking
in the playoffs,
and we won't say the batting average, but you and I were down at the dugout one night after the game, and he told what his leadoff batter was hitting, which wasn't good.
Right.
And I thought, well, yeah, he had now because I'd kind of sit in the stand, thought he hadn't hit, but you kind of felt like he was your leadoff batter. And when I was listening to y'all during the tournament, I told Seth, I said, I knew he wasn't that type of hitter of what batting average he was carrying, and it was starting to show. He started to, heat up. And he hadn't played a lot of games. He'd played a lot of games high school because Cherville went so deep. But,
Right.
But he didn't have a lot of at bats early. And you
Well,
got
hitting
through
wasn't
some.
Cherville's strong point.
Yeah.
That wasn't their strength this year.
No.
You know, I mean, they and Coach Reynolds loves a team that can hit and go out there and score 8 to 10 runs, you know, every night and take some pressure off the pitchers. But their strength was pitching and defense.
Pitching and defense.
You know, that's how they won most of their games. That's how they stayed in them, and he pulled pitchers at the right time, and
Right.
you know, got good bullpen work. You know,
Gets back to, you know,
But
knowing what buttons to push.
that was their strength, and that's why they made it as far as they did. Now, if you throw in a night when they do score 6,
Right.
8 runs, they're probably going to win just about every one of those. But you know, and then somebody will say, well, if that's their strength, why did they give up 10 the other night? You know, well, they just run into a
right into a hot team.
Yeah,
And if
exactly.
And if you look at it,
must-win team too.
one ending.
Because
It was one bad ending when
It
you
was
really start
one.
looking at it.
Yep.
You know,
What they get 7?
7 runs.
Yeah. 7 in the one inning, and
I believe it was 6. I believe it went from.
it might have been
was-
6.
It was
And
1
you
to
know,
1, and it went to
Fuquay was
7.
coming off a loss the night before where they were shut out
right
by a pitcher from Randolph
And,
County.
You know, that kind of run through my mind before he even started the game. Who would he pitch? Because, you know, I seen Fuquay got shut out, and I thought, you know, they're the defending state champ, and I don't know who they had back from last year, but, you know, you get punched in the nose right out of the gate. The next night you're coming for blood, you know, and that was and they
Well, it
run
works.
themselves out of that first inning to start with. It really could have been more than one run for Fuquay in that first inning. They run her. I believe that was the one that me and you commented back. I said, "Why are you running the guy home when you?"
Oh, yeah.
yeah. They run
Yeah.
herself out of the inning.
Yeah, he was out by 25 feet. Yeah, it wasn't even close at the plate. I saw a few of those while I was down there. So, but you know, one of them was even cut off by the third baseman in the relay. Still
Yeah.
got a runner at the plate. But you know, back to today's finals though. Queen City taking on Wilmington. That's you know, that's a veteran championship team. I don't know how many Wilmington's won, but they've piled up quite a few over the last 15 years anyway. And
I don't know how many they've won, but
taking on the newcomer here.
I saw this Richard Walker before it started. This was their 15th
Appearance.
since they went to the tournament.
Yeah.
This was Cherville's 13th and their 15th
Yeah.
according to Richard Walker. Now, how many of those 15 they won?
That's a little unfair, too, if you think about it, because Area 2, where Wilmington is from, does not have near as many teams as Area 4. And like we talked about, you know, we just about always see Randolph and Rowan. Well, Wilmington's another one you can count on being there 4 out of every 5 years, if not more. I guess if
not
you
more.
and more than that, by
Especially-
what you just said, 15. And what
Right.
was the first year we had the
2000,
actual tournament?
I believe he said.
I think it was
That sounds
2000.
right.
So this would be the 23rd one. This would be the 23rd one, and they've been to 15.
Yeah. Well,
There was a year they didn't have one.
Yeah.
A year, so
Missed a
22.
year.
15 out of 22. Yeah, that's 2/3 or better. You know, that's
Yeah, 2000 was at Caldwell. That was the first. That
right.
was the first.
That
one.
was the
Yeah.
first tournament, and Caldwell won it, and that was the last one they've
Beat
won,
Rowan
which is
County.
also
Yeah,
surprising.
beat Rowan County, didn't they?
Is that who it was? I can't
It
remember who
was.
they beat. Rowan's there a lot too. I mean, you know, if you want to get into the state championships, you can pretty much say Wilmington, Rowan, and Cherville, since they've had the tournament anyway.
Right.
And then a few fill-in spots. Randolph may have won 1 or 2, but not as many as you'd think. I don't,
Right.
you know, but I don't think they've won as many as Rowan, Cherville, or Wilmington.
I don't think
But-
they have either. I know they won down at Sims. They beat Cherville. That was what, 09, 08. I can't remember now.
I
But
think Pitt County did Pitt County win in Cherville one year?
yeah,
I was
they
thinking
did.
like Pitt County
Yes,
won
they
one in
did.
Cherville
That
one
was-
year, but they don't really rack them up either,
Yeah,
like
that
you would
was-
think. And who's some other teams that are always there, but
Well, High Point used to be there a lot. I don't remember them winning one.
No,
but
they
they were
haven't
there
won one.
several times.
no.
in Kernersville.
Kernersville used to really have a
Kernersville
good. I don't even know if do they have a
Kernersville and High
program
Point
now?
are the other two that have been involved. When
Yeah.
it wasn't Rowan and Randolph.
And their
County.
Eastern Randolph used to be.
They had a good
One of the
program
good
too,
teams.
and they still do. I had somebody down there tell me that they had a good team this year. They just, you know,
I think I seen their second in whatever the two divisions
Right.
were. They were in the same with Randolph.
Yep.
Outside of that area, Wayne County used to be
Wayne County.
one of the big names.
But I don't know when Wayne does Wayne won a state
I don't
since it's
rem-
been tournament.
Not that I remember.
I don't think they've won it now. Cheryl's been their nemesis, I think, because isn't that who Cheryl beat at Morehead City in the finals?
Yes.
And then that's also who Cherryl beat at
And Garner.
Garner,
yeah.
too.
Garner's the one came to my
So
mind.
that's
Yep.
been their
Because
nemesis.
Yeah.
because that's one of the years Caldwell did go deep. They finished third in that one. The Wayne County beat Caldwell, I think, in the game before.
Yeah, they did.
Before meeting Cherryville. But yeah, and I can't even think. Is that the end of the? Shelby's won one or two.
Yeah,
along the
Shelby
way.
come out and won the one at High Point. The
I'm gonna have to
year.
get that list. I'm gonna have to get that list just to see how it goes.
Shelby's won 2 or 3. I know they've won 2.
Yeah, if I had to guess, since the state tournament's been going on, I would say Wilmington is the top.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think they've got the most.
The most numbers, because we sit here and we talk about Cherryville haven't won since 2010,
Yep.
2011.
2011,
Yep, I think.
and that was Morehead, right?
I get my. I get,
11 was Morehead, yeah. 07 was Garner. And 03 was Fayetteville.
okay,
And that's the only ones they've
so
won,
they've won
right?
3
Those
since
three.
we've had the
Since it went
tournament.
to the
But a mainstay. I wonder how many trips they've made to the. Out of
at
the 20.
least 12 or 13.
total
Out of the 20.
13.
13.
13 out of
13 's how
20.
many times they've Richard Walker was 15 for Wilmington and 13. That was
Okay,
counting this.
And I'm guessing if I had to guess after that, I would say Rowan.
Yeah, I would.
It would be my
Yeah, it
guess
seems like Rowan's there
for third and
most years.
yeah, I would expect them to probably have if Cheryl's got 13, Rowan's got to have 12.
Yeah, they'd
you would
be-
think.
Yeah, they'd be.
That's who I expect to see in that spot.
Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have the most trips.
Well, I was just me and Sir Kate were talking before it started. That was before it started, and I said, I'm chair I'm pulling, but I told her, I said, the 4 I'm picking playing in the once you get past the pool, I said was Rowan, Randolph, Fuguay, and Wilmington.
Yep.
She said, "You're not including?" I said, "No, I'm a Cherryville fan, but I said they're just glad to get this far."
Yeah. And nobody
But-
would have threw in Queen City
No,
when you were
that
trying
was
to
the one
pick.
that really,
When you were trying to
so,
pick.
but I'm happy that it is. Then,
Oh yeah.
you know.
Yeah. You know what I'm disappointed in?
I see some comments on Facebook, I believe, but there's a lot of it was the anger because of the pool play.
Yeah.
ruling.
Well, I had some
Something-
people ask me, how did Cherryville go 2-1 and get eliminated?
And somebody made a comment. Well, we beat Queen City. I hope. Who did they play last night? That they Randolph. I hope Randolph beats them today.
Why would you hate
And I
Queen
thought-
City?
And I thought Queen City had nothing to do with there's in another pool.
They were in yeah.
I mean, and
They only did what they were supposed to do. They went down there and won ball games.
that's exactly right.
And a good friend Gerald Young, he didn't even get to make the trip.
He didn't get to go.
He's not unless he went yesterday.
Right.
I did not see him the first 3 days, and I'm so glad for him because
Me too.
he's been around a long time and had Legion teams and
Well, I hope
does
if
his
it
best. Now
wasn't-
anybody that wonders, this is Charlotte Post 262.
If it wasn't
in
a
the
health
past.
issue, I sure hope he's there today. That he gets to. If he wasn't there yesterday, that he's there today.
I know.
At least I hope health-wise he's able to be there.
Yeah, and hopefully they'll bring it home for him and win the state title. It'll be tough because of Wilmington's experience and those bats are starting to really heat up. But I'll put it this way: Queen City's the only team got a chance to
right.
beat them at this point. Now, Brett gave me some disappointing news about 2 days ago in American Legion baseball. He sends me a message and says, Brooklawn, New Jersey, lost in their state tournament to Allentown.
Yep.
But now Allentown I thought was in PA, so it must be a different.
I guess
Must
there's
be
an
in
Allentown, New Jersey.
Maybe there's
Jersey
Allentowns
State.
everywhere. But yeah, I was kind of disappointed because that's one of my favorite teams. Always has been to watch.
Wonder
When
where
they come to
Allentown, PA
Shelby.
is at in Pennsylvania. If it's right along the border, and it's
It might be where it
New
crosses.
Jersey and Allentown.
I
PA.
thought, yeah, I may
don't
be
know,
wrong for some reason.
Kind of like St. Louis, there's a St. Louis, Missouri, and St.
I've-
Louis,
I've
Kansas.
Surely they
passed.
don't include it in the.
I've passed
Jersey
Allentown
State.
on the way to New York City before, the Allentown, PA, and it might be right on that border.
But would
where
they
it-
still play in the state, or was that? Surely they weren't playing. They can't play the regional yet because they all start on the same day.
No, it was the New Jersey State tournament.
Okay.
I'm just saying, how like Augusta, there's Georgia and South Carolina. It's on, or like Memphis is on the border, and it's
Like say East St.
There's
Louis,
a West
Illinois,
Memphis, Arkansas. Maybe there's an
St. Louis, Missouri.
Maybe it's
like an
split.
East
It's on both sides,
Allentown
and
is in New Jersey.
Right.
East Allentown.
I don't know, or maybe it's just totally different.
One of the biggest
totally
is East
different
St.
town.
Louis. East St.
Yeah.
Louis is in Illinois.
That's right.
You know, big high
I also
school
saw
there.
Florence, South Carolina, is in the final 3 teams.
They're
But they've got to win 2 games today.
You didn't recall who the other two?
I know Rock Hill is the team that's waiting. So they did the double
Really?
elimination.
Yeah.
Yep. Rock Hill is the team waiting on the winner. And I can't remember who it is Florence plays, but they play at 10 a.m. And if the winner
It's
will
not
play,
Chapin Newberry
No.
or York or
No, I
just
can't-
trying to think of
I
some of the
can't
teams
remember.
we've Florence. Florence is very
no, that's who I was saying.
Oh,
is-
okay,
is
okay.
playing.
Florence can
Okay.
hit. They
Florence
are
has
a
always
hitting
been
team,
good.
buddy.
um,
I know.
it's no telling. It might be a newcomer, just like Queen City
Right.
is. Um,
Hold on one second.
The-
no, and
okay,
I'll tell
we're
you.
good. We're
It's
good. I was trying to think. now,
Camden.
Camden.
Florence and Camden at 10 a.m. and the winner plays Rock Hill at 1 for the
Okay.
championship. But no, they're not in. They're in the southeast region,
That's,
right?
Everybody
not
is.
in the-
It's back to southeast.
Oh, is
this
it?
year.
It is,
It's back
okay.
to southeast this
Okay.
year. It's not Mid Atlantic. Yeah, so they'll
Well, now
they should be there.
You said they're playing double elimination. Brett has Rock Hill been beat yet?
I don't know.
And do they play the extra game?
Right.
You know, and,
Well-
and I think they do because
Yeah.
that's to keep the pitching on a level
Right.
playing field.
So Rock Hill would have had to have been beat because one of these teams doesn't have to beat Rock Hill twice today.
Well,
they just
that
have
would
to.
be an
Yeah.
answer, yeah.
They just have to win their game
That's
and
why I
then
was
beat Rock
curious
Hill.
if-
Okay, there you go.
So it's that double elimination where the winners bracket team plays the same number of games.
For the folks wondering about Cherville, and then we're going to take a timeout. Those folks wondering about Cherville and how they got eliminated with a 2-1 record. The tiebreaker when 3 teams are 2-1 in the pool, and that's what happened. Cherville
Mm-hmm.
and help me with the other 2 that were Fuquay
Fuguay and
Randolph.
Randolph were all 2-1. Hope Mills was 0-3. So you got 3 teams tied. It comes down to first tiebreakers, runs allowed. Coach Reynolds, I spent some time with him after the game the other night. He wasn't sour about it. He knew the rules
He
going
understood.
in. So he said, nope, we're not going to whine about it. We knew that coming in.
It
We
is
give up
what it
more
is.
runs. We're not in. You know, but it is a little disappointing to be one of the
And
2-1s.
and if you're going to do, that's the way it ought to be: is runs allowed, not runs
Sure.
scored. Because
Don't encourage you to run
run
the
up
score
the score on
Yep.
somebody. Exactly.
But they would have liked to have run up the score the other night because they could have got.
They could have piled up
Here-
runs.
They could have
against
eliminated
Randolph.
They could have eliminated
Yeah.
Randleman. I mean, Randolph had they and Randleman about the same.
Yeah.
Randolph had they scored. Like
15.
Here's
Yeah.
my, here's, I have a question on it, and you probably can answer this. I know you need. We need to go.
Nah, we're good.
Let's say they had they tied because 17 wasn't that what Cherville? That was the
Tied
run-
runs
What
allowed?
if they'd have tied 17? Would it have been
run scored is next.
okay?
It's not head to head.
Run scored
That's
is
what I
next.
thought about. I didn't know if it's head to
They
head.
will not use head to head when there's a 3-way tie. You know what I'm saying?
because you can say with our turn. Well,
Yeah.
But I was
we
thinking
beat the team that you lost to. So
if they used runs allowed
Just use the 2.
and one team separates itself
Yeah.
and then the lower 2 are tied, I would think you should use head to head to break that tie because then you've only got 2 tied
Yeah.
for one spot.
Well, they
But-
told me, and this was the director, said the second one is run scored. You know, so.
Yeah, they need to go back to double elimination. You don't need tiebreakers.
Here's the only advantages I know of, or the only advantage I know of a pool play is you are guaranteed 3 games.
Guaranteed 3
so if you
games.
travel 2 or 3 hours, you know you guaranteed 3 games. Although I don't think Hope Mills really cared much about playing that 3rd game the other night when they were eliminated earlier in the day by the Cherville win. When Cherville won, Hope Mills was eliminated, couldn't get in. So even though they started the game with a bang, it was 4-3 after 1 inning. But they just kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't be into the game. It's just human nature. If you're already eliminated and you got to go out there and play that, you know, the only thing you have going for you is you have a chance to knock somebody out of the tournament.
and that's where what you just said. That's where the double elimination with every game is important.
Double elimination is
know,
doesn't
even-
matter what the score
Even
is.
though you're behind, you might have to play more games.
Don't matter what the score is.
Yeah.
It's all about a win or a loss. And number 2, you don't have to sit around for 6 to 8 hours wondering if you're still in or
In
not.
or in, right?
If you lose 2 games, you get in the bus and you go home.
Right.
You know,
And Cherville sat around
Cherville
those
had to stay
hours
an extra night.
knowing that it was slim.
Right. They had to stay an
But they
extra
had a
night.
chance.
They finished their game around 3:30, and they had to stay an extra night because they would not know till around 10 o'clock for sure.
For sure.
If they were. Although there was a pretty good idea around 8:30. But they did not know for sure
Well, like you
if they were in
said,
or
the pool
out.
play, I was thinking, it guarantees everybody 3 games, and
That's it.
and
I can't think of anything
and I
else.
thought, well, maybe whoever the host is, and it depends on who the host is. You know, the home team in that pool play is going to play 7:00 game every night. It might help you gate. You might
Scott
you might
Cloninger-
make money.
Scott Cloninger called me yesterday and said if they went to double elimination, they'd have to add more days, right? And I said no. They do not have to add more days. It's still a 5-day tournament, and because you had 4, 4, and 4 is 12, 2 and 1. That's 15 games, and that's all you need in a double elimination.
Right.
14, possibly 15. So you still play it in the exact same amount of days. There's not the extra day. It's still 5 days, and you got to have 14, possibly 15 games. You might even play one less in the double elimination. Well, unless they do the extra game, which we've seen. And what I say by the extra game is usually in double elimination tournaments, the team that's 3-0 does not play on day 4. But in Legion Baseball, to keep the pitching on the same level, they want everybody to have 4 games in when they go to the championship. So in double elimination, that team would play another. It doesn't matter if you lose it; you're still in the championship.
Right.
But it does count as a loss, and if you lose again the next day, you're
And
out.
do you know when they went away from the double elimination?
Wasn't it double elimination last year in Cherryville? They haven't done away with it. What it
It
is,
kind of bounces back and forth.
Jerry
doesn't it?
Hudson told me, who's the Area 4 director, Jerry said that
Is it not?
it's written up to be double elimination, but the host can change
Can
it to
change
pool
it.
play. Yeah. So I don't know,
I can't remember. I know that in 2019, the year before COVID, it was pool play at Cherryville that
Okay.
year because
Cherryville had hosted the last 2, right?
for some reason
Yeah.
I was thinking it was pool play last year too, just because they was wanting that 3-night gate, 7:00 game. But I'm not. But I know 19 was. I know it was.
Yeah. Well, but you'd still have it. You'd still have that. I know what you're saying. That assured Cherryville playing 3 games at home
Yeah.
in case they were eliminated. But you'd still have. I don't know. You'd still have. I mean, Cherryville 9 times out of
You're gonna
10
have
is
the
not going to
game.
go 0-2.
You're right.
So, and
I like double elimination, and I like about the best game of the tournament is the third night when you have the 2-0 teams
Yep.
playing.
Yep. Well, that's because you take a major step toward a championship
Right.
on that day.
And I never really liked the winners bracket team playing the extra game, but I still like that better than the pool play.
Yep. I would say I have seen. I'm pretty sure I've seen that the team that was 3-0 going into those other 2 games. I've seen them not win it, but more often than not, law averages they do win it. The team that's 3-0, I would say. But that would take some research to go back and look at, and you'd have to look at the brackets. But I'm trying to remember the very first year they had it up at Caldwell. I don't even know if they played the extra game. Of course, it was different that year
I don't
because they had
remember.
9 teams.
I do remember when
They had 9 teams.
down at the Rainbow at Fayetteville.
The Rainbow.
I do remember that Cherryville playing. I don't remember who they played, but it was one of those games where it didn't really matter,
Right.
and it was double elimination at that one, wasn't it? But I cannot.
Well, they
I
had
think
one
it
at
was on-
Garner.
it was
I
on-
think
At
they
Garner,
did. I
they
think
had-
Cherryville went 5-0 in Garner, didn't they? I think.
No, they lost a game.
Did they lose
Yeah.
that extra game?
Yeah, because when it got to the last day, it was a 1-game
Okay.
scenario with
Okay.
them and Wayne County.
Okay. But they had Hendo on the mound,
Yeah.
so they were in good shape.
Yep.
Yep. Let's take a break. We appreciate you tuning in to Sports Talk this morning. First segment there, totally on Legion Baseball, and rightly so. It's been the hot topic this week. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times Convenience Stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times Convenience Stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times Convenience Stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to understand here. I asked, Ned said last year was pool play in Cherryville. Cherryville 3-0, then lost their game to Wilmington.
Okay.
And then Wilmington lost to Fuquay in the finals. So I guess Fuquay beat Rowan. Is that what you guys said, that you thought they beat Rowan in the other semifinal?
I don't know. I was thinking Rowan made the championship,
and I think
but apparently
he's got
not.
I think he's got the score here. If this is the score of the Cherryville loss,
It was bad.
17-10. Was it that? Many
Yeah,
runs?
it might have been.
That's a lot of runs.
Yeah.
That's a
And it
lot.
seems like
Then they get
maybe
behind early.
Wilmington would get up by 10 or so, and then Cherryville would score a
It
few.
was.
and-
I do remember.
Yeah.
Man, that's a memory that I don't have.
I thought it was bad. I actually thought it was worse than that.
Okay. That's yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Wilmington eliminated them in 2019 also.
Hey, well, I mean, if you're eliminated,
I believe you're right. 'Cause I don't.
there's a good chance it's Wilmington because Wilmington, we've talked about that already, how they've been there 15 out of 20 state tournaments.
22, wouldn't you say? Because it was 1 year, wasn't it?
Yeah, out of the 22.
15 out of 22.
15 out of
years.
22. That's amazing.
And I wonder how many they've won in that time. I would say at least 4 or 5.
Yeah. They got to be the leader, right? I mean, as far
Yeah,
as
Cherryville's
since
won
the
3.
tournament-
I think
since the
Wilmington's
tournament
won.
started. They
I
got to be
seen
the
that
leader.
too.
And I think they've won about 10 overall in their history.
I seen that too, David. The winners of it, and Wilmington have won it, but I cannot. It's Richard Walker. It was come out before the Cherryville had won 3, and somebody was tied with Cherryville with 3. Rowan, I think, and I want to say Wilmington was
4 or 5.
I believe 5, but I might be.
Well,
I might be
if
making
that's
that
the
up.
case, then you just did 11. That's half of them.
Yeah, and then
That's
I
half
think
the 22.
Shelby was right behind them with 2,
Okay.
and then they were
Like we said, Caldwell's won 1.
numerous.
We don't know who else has won.
Randolph County, I believe they had 2.
I remember Randolph winning in
They
Gastonia.
won in Gastonia.
Yep.
And Morehead City
And I
was-
do think Randolph won 1. You know,
Morehead City was 1, and Caldwell was 1, the first one. And
I'll tell you one
I
thing
believe
that
Union County had 1 because did they not win it when they hosted it? I believe they
Who
had
did?
Union County. I believe they had 1, and I think did they win it when they hosted?
Did they?
And it seemed
That's
like
a
they
good
had
question.
1.
I remember it being at Wingate. Ned says they lost at Fraley Field in 2019 to Wilmington, 14-12. So, does Cherryville lead the state in runner-up finishes?
Well, those two were semifinal games.
Yeah, but I'm just saying though. I mean, they have been runner-up quite a few times. So because they were at Caldwell, and when they lost to Wilmington in that final, I don't know how many times.
It's,
It just-
they do usually make it to the
It seems like they've been
the
runner-up quite a few
semifinals. Yeah,
times.
when they get it from 8 to 4, Cherryville's usually one of the 4.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not this time though, because of the tiebreaker situation. We'll get back into that in a little bit. Let's touch on some of the national stuff that's going on right now, and give you some Major League Baseball updates. Some of the scores last night, or all of the scores from last night. Go through the standings because we haven't done that now in a couple weeks. We had the All-Star break. Thank goodness that boring week is behind us. That's the worst week of Major League Baseball now, to me anyway, in the entire season. One thing that I'm glad they fixed this year. Last year they had no Thursday games.
Right.
With the All-Star break went to 4 days, but this year finally they did. They went back, and even though there wasn't a lot of games, I think there was like maybe 6 or 8, a handful of games on the Thursday following the All-Star break, and of course what was odd was 2 of those matchups were double headers. Including Houston and the Yankees, and Detroit and somebody, maybe Texas. It's kind of, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of odd that they had
Was Oakland?
that you
Oakland
can't, might have
won?
been Oakland. You come back and have a double header on the Thursday after the All-Star break. Should be well rested though, right? When you jump in there, but we're gonna look at the scores from last night and the standings. But one of the first things, one of the top stories that I see is Shohei Ohtani. Is he going to be traded? The Major League Baseball trade deadline is coming up Tuesday. It says Tuesday right here, which is August 1st. Is that right?
That's August 2nd.
Second, yeah.
It is
Which
the
that's
second.
unusual. It
It's
used to
usually
be
July
August-
31st.
Yeah, it used to be July 31st, but I think
Has it got something to do with where the certain point in the season falls? Maybe the certain like the.
It's either that or the day of the week.
100th game or the day of the week. Can't get a deal done on Monday.
Well,
We'll give you the Tuesday. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
Or actually Sunday. It would fall on Sunday. Maybe since Sunday's a weekend, the GMs are taking off.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some kind of reasoning behind why it fell the second.
So, I mean, I'm guessing by August 3rd we'll see him in pinstripes because the Yankees add every single player that becomes available, it looks like, to their roster.
I believe that was Plesac the night before last, or it might have been yesterday. He was talking about that.
Who I love listening to.
What would he be valued at, And here was his analysis. He was saying and I seen the Castillo guy in Cincinnati went to Seattle last night.
Oh, did
and
he?
It came out. He was talking before this trade ever came. He said they're talking about 4 minor leaguers for him. He said so he's a pitcher. He said, and they're going to probably get 4 minor leaguers for him. He said, and then Shohei Ohtani, he's a pitcher, so you ought to get at least 4 for that. And said, and then he's an everyday player. And then they compared, I believe, Soto. Said that's another 4 players. So said, is Ohtani? Do you get 8 players for him because of the fact that he can do both? Of course, but I did say Castillo went to the Seattle last night. It was running a ticket there late.
Yeah,
it just said 4 minor leaguers. That's all. It didn't give names. It must have just happened.
Well, Ohtani should bring in the best haul of players because of how much he can do.
And it said it with him and Soto.
But I don't think he's going to get traded.
They went on to say that it was.
Got to get Lenny talking to his microphone. He's doing a Mike Powell on me over there.
Less likely he would.
Yeah.
But it felt like Soto would, and Ohtani less likely.
Yeah.
But
here's what I want to know: will every team use him as a batter and a pitcher?
Yeah,
I
think at this point, I don't know how you couldn't.
Which is he better at? 50-50?
I don't know that you make a comparison. Do you really? I mean, he's
one of the best at both.
Now, how long he can do that? How long you overuse?
Well, at some point in his career, it might be 10 years in, but at some point he'll probably drop one or the other.
And one team, if he goes to a really powerful team, like if he went to the Yankees, they might give him more days off.
Right.
Or, extra days between starts that the Angels can't afford to do, or extra days off from the lineup.
I'm not even sure he can get in that lineup.
And they were talking about there were just so few teams that were capable of maybe that their farm systems were, because they said in his case it would be some everyday players on the, but also you had very top minor. And he said they're so limited. Like Seattle was one of them, and I thought after last night, if they don't trade and give up 4 prospects, they're probably out of the mix for
I would think so.
Don't have much more to give. Not for a player like Ohtani or Soto.
And then they named off a few, and the Yankees were not one of them because they said they were a couple prospects that they was. But if you start shaking on
Tony Castillo, you're talking about on Castillo.
Shaking on Tony, them prospects.
Yeah,
anybody can,
Yeah,
all of a sudden they become spendable.
Right.
Yeah, when you're talking about a player of his caliber. And how old is he?
I don't know. Do you?
Do we know?
I don't know how long he played.
Soto's 23, but I don't know what. I'm saying
23.
28.
That's hard. I mean,
but I don't know.
I don't.
I mean, that's unreal. He's 23.
You get a superstar, and
Ohtani's 28,
and you trade him away.
So
that's.
I mean, he played in the Japan's major league for a while before he came here.
And you hope that's accurate. Don't say that. But.
He looks young.
He does.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And he plays young. His body seems to be in very good shape, at least at this point. So,
and he's probably got a good 10 years left of playing. I don't know if he's got 10 years left of pitching.
Where would he be the best fit? Who needs? Who doesn't need a starting pitcher? But
the Dodgers. They need a starting pitcher, and they need some outfield help because of injuries.
Well, then that's where he'll be.
They were saying
that's the The
And I
Dodgers
read
and the
this
Yankees have the money.
Before, as he mentioned, just in the last 2 or 3 days, talking about he might be traded. They were talking about how it was, he was he filled ballparks up and I thought, yeah, he's a big market. He's a big market player.
Sure.
Maybe the Pirates will go after him.
So what we've seen here in about a 5-day stretch is Mike Trout may miss substantial time in his career, and he claims he's not finished with his back injury. That it won't end his career, but how much time will he miss? We don't know that he won't. That he might not come back. And then now you got the second star on the team, Ohtani, who's going to be gone. And the Angels are already a team that don't get any publicity. They're just like the stepchild.
They're only relevant because of Trout and Ohtani.
Yeah,
Trout is fading.
So what are you trying? What are they trying to do with their organizations?
I guess if you can get a big haul of prospects, you just start over. I mean, they've never won anything with Trout.
I do not know
they're not going anywhere with Ohtani.
No, but I don't know I don't know. I would like to know what the average attendance is right now with those two guys in the lineup when the fans come, and then we get rid of both of them, and what's it going to drop to?
Ohtani's there, it's a sellout. That's what they were saying, and so that was, they had to tread water real slowly doing this because if you're going to move him, you got to really build for the future. You got to bring some players that's going to be relevant down the road.
Ohtani or Trout, neither one put me in the mind of somebody that wants to jump ship and go play for a championship. Although I think that's in everybody's mind, but I think they just want to play baseball and help their team win.
Well, I think Trout all along has been hoping they could build that there,
right,
with the Angels.
Right. And they last won a World Series in
03.
Was that when they beat the
02 or 03? Yeah.
With the monkeys. All the fans had monkeys.
Yeah.
Not real monkeys.
Rally monkeys.
Rally monkeys.
They beat the Giants, but they hadn't really been very relevant since then. They got, they acquired Pujols, and then Trout came up, and they still hadn't been.
Well, how many other players can you name on the?
No, not many.
On the Angels squad.
They invested big money on Rendon 2 years ago.
I'm not saying that going.
That was kind of that.
And they brought in Syndergaard.
They were hoping,
and he hadn't.
And they did.
Syndergaard hadn't been great since he's been there.
I believe it was Plesac saying that he didn't think it. He didn't think it would happen. It might happen.
Plesac's really good to listen to.
It might happen in the winter.
Yeah.
But he said, I don't think you can work I don't think he got enough time between the deadline to work a deal of how many prospects it would take.
Oh, you'd be surprised,
to get him. But
you'd be surprised if somebody really wants him. They come up with 5 or 7.
That's exactly right. But
or 4 in a pitcher, 4 in a starting pitcher, or something like that.
He did say Syndergaard. He'd look for him to be gone. This week. He would and he's just he just signed a 1-year contract anyway with the Angels.
Yeah.
So,
but as far as their fan support goes, I just see if they get rid of Ohtani now and Trout's not there, it may be best for your organization to get the 3 or 4 prospects that can all be starters, but it's going to take.
It is best for the organization.
It's going to take 3 or 4 years though to build that.
But it'll be
where the fans come.
It'll be kind of like Atlanta was when they went down. They lost some fan support.
And they were telling.
Yeah, but obviously Atlanta's a much better ran organization.
Oh yeah,
than the Angels. It appears.
Well, I think the Angels have pretty good fan support.
Well, it is in Los Angeles. Well, you say it's not in Los Angeles, but it's in the burbs. But
they keep that Los Angeles name.
They should have never dumped California.
Yeah.
Then they went to Anaheim.
That was the name I liked, California.
Yeah, and it's in Anaheim.
Yeah.
But
how far is it from L.A. downtown to Anaheim downtown? Because you've done that.
Yeah.
How far is
it? I don't.
It's 6 hours, but how?
Yeah.
It's only 10 miles.
20 miles.
6 hours by car.
No, maybe
4 by foot.
I mean, it might be 30 miles, maybe 40. I don't know. I'd have to look that up, but it's not very far.
Well, 40 miles is further than I thought it was. I thought it would have been.
It might not.
I thought it would have been. I don't know why, but I would have just thought it would have been. How far is Beverly Hills? I don't know if Jed.
Well, Beverly Hills right in the middle.
I don't know if Jed's going to the games or not.
Los Angeles. But yeah, nobody's driving from Beverly Hills to the Angel Stadium. That's for sure.
Well, no, they weren't. They, the Hillbillies always had Leo DeRocher on. They didn't have on Rod Carew. They had Leo DeRocher on the Hillbillies. Let's get into some of the scores from last night. Run down the standings a little bit before we take our next time out. Brett's checking mileage for us. We always like to know. I don't know why. We like to know
31 miles from Dodger Stadium to Angel Stadium.
31 miles. And obviously you can make it on.
And Dodger Stadium.
You might make it walking faster. Definitely would on a bicycle.
Well, right now at 6 a.m. on a Saturday, it says 31 minutes.
6 a.m. on a Saturday.
But at 6 p.m.
You can't check that and say.
On a weeknight, that probably at least triples. I mean, that's at least an hour and a half on a weeknight.
Yep. I don't even know why I needed to know that information. I just,
I like my drive home back home.
It's just, I mean.
And when I did it, we went out.
I'm not going to say anything.
We went out to the coast and drove down to make it a scenic drive.
Right.
So it took us forever, but we had we didn't have anything else to do.
Right. The the San Francisco 49ers are farther than that away from San Francisco than the Angels are from L.A. I think San Francisco, what is it? It's 35 miles to, I don't even remember which, it's Santa something. Where is it
I'm still locked in at Kezar Stadium and Candlestick.
Yeah.
With them.
Yeah, I can't remember. Where do the 49ers?
Is it Santa Clara? Or is it? I don't even know exactly which ones are in
Santa Clara.
Yeah, but they do not play in San Francisco anymore, and they're not the only ones. There's other teams out there that
Santa Clara.
Is it Santa Clara?
Levi's Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. And that mileage from there to San Francisco, I'm guessing, is in the 30s, maybe even the 40s, maybe 40 miles from there. But they still use that San Francisco name, and. Golden State's got it right. They don't care where they play. You know what I'm saying? You just go by Golden State.
Santa Clara 49ers just don't sound right.
No, it does not. No, it does not. Never would.
40 miles from where Candlestick Park was to the new stadium.
Yeah, and you know what? When I think Pac Bell, or whatever it is now, AT&T, whatever.
It's called Pac Bell still. Yes.
I think it is in San Francisco and right on the water there on the bay. It's obviously on the water,
you
but
can see the Golden Gate Bridge behind it.
If I never been to a game in San Francisco, but if I ever went, I would want to be right there on the bay in San Francisco, just like the way Candlestick was, and all the stories about Candlestick that, there was a guy, some famous guy one time said the coldest winter I ever spent in my life was the summer in San Francisco, that it gets in the 40s in July at night and windy at those games and the moisture, but I would have wanted to went to a game there, especially after watching Robert De Niro in The Fan. I don't know if you ever saw that or not, but that adds to it to me. I mean, that gives you a feeling of what it's like to be at those games in that place. And they've always said that the only team west of the Mississippi River, and Brett's not going to like this, that has the rowdy crowds like on the East Coast for baseball is San Francisco. For some reason.
Oh yeah, the Dodgers don't have rowdy. No, now they'll stab a Giants fan, but they're not.
That's not considered rowdy.
They're not typically. Yeah.
Well, San Francisco's.
They're not like Fenway Park fans,
right?
And maybe they're getting some of that.
Well, Fenway, you don't want to mess with Fenway Park fans, right?
Yeah. And maybe they're getting some of that across the bay, former Oakland Raider fans over at San Francisco.
Yep, they are. I'm sure that, they are. They get into it. They're just, the critical, I guess, is one of the words that they are, like the East Coast fans of their own team.
Right. Yeah,
very critical of their own team, and that's, I mean, what year did they leave New York and go to? Who went first? Dodgers, Giants. Dodgers.
I think they were both in the 50s. Yeah, I know the Dodgers were in the 50s.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't. I don't remember who moved first. Might have been the same year. I don't think it
I
was.
don't know.
But it might have been the same year. Last night in Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers defeated Boston 4-1. Don't know if you watched any of this, Lenny, but it was a 2-1 game going to the top of the ninth.
I did,
The Brewers added a couple insurance runs in the top of the ninth just because I don't know who the guy is right now doing the color commentator or the analyst that's giving input on the Red Sox games. Thank you, Lenny. Rodney Willis says, thank you, Lenny. Trying to figure out exactly which comment you made that he's thanking you for. Maybe he'll tell me here in a minute.
I did not say anything about the Yankees.
Brewers beat the Red Sox 4-1. But what that analyst I was talking about, he said the reason they gave up 2 runs because the pitcher, he named the pitcher, called out his name and everything. Said you just can't allow that to happen. But I can't remember who it was.
Because I think he finally got a good effort out of the kid, didn't he, last night? Bello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
it was a relief pitcher. But I'm just trying to. Oh, Raiders are a rowdy crowd. That's what you said. Yeah,
okay.
The Raiders have always had a rowdy crowd, and that's that's part of what makes them the Raiders, the Black Hole.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders. But you know what? That is one, the Cowboys can go anywhere and carry their brand, and the Raiders can too.
Right.
There's just a few teams that can play anywhere in the country, and the fan base is going to be there.
Yeah.
And I know in in Las Vegas, at one time it was nobody lived there. It was all tourists. But now over the last 10 years, it's been maybe the fastest growing big city.
Yeah.
So they've got a base now. I mean, they've got people. And you know what? Your L.A. people that used to pull for the Raiders, they're going to make the 4-hour drive, 3.5 hours. Yeah, on game day, 8 times a year. They're going.
Plus, Vegas has never had a team. And I think that helps when you get a new team.
Yep.
It's easy. It's easy for that to be, to make that your team.
Right.
Since they've played in that new stadium, I've not noticed an empty seat.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I've not noticed an empty seat. How do you feel about this, though, Rodney? I saw the analysts this week say as good as that division is and as good as the Raiders are, they're the 4th pick in that division this year with the muscle ahead of them in the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos and what they've done, even though they added Devontae Adams.
I've heard I think it was Colin Cowherd said in his lifetime, this is the best division of quarterbacks in his lifetime.
What is he, 3?
Mahomes, Herbert,
it's
Carr, and Russell Wilson.
It is a good one.
He said there's never been a division where every quarterback is that good.
Here's what I want you to do, and we're going to go back to baseball. Think about this. I want you to rank those 4 when we get to football. Brewers 4-1 over the Red Sox. Orioles over the Reds 6-2. The Mets over the Marlins 6-4. Mets have remained hot, didn't they? Sweep the Yankees this week in a short 2-game series. Still got to use the word sweep though. Here's the deal. They have owned the Yankees in this regular season, this short regular season so far, and so has Houston Astros. But the Yankees don't care. All they want to do is win in October. So we'll see how that works out. Last night the Yankees had no problem, 11-5 over the Royals. I could have swore this game was 1-0 for a long time.
7-3, but then they went on a
Judge with a grand slam.
Judge hit a grand slam and hit 2 home runs last night.
Rodney says that division. I'll tell you how he says that division is going to finish. You guess who's on top. It wouldn't be hard. We'll get into that in just a few minutes. The Phillies over the Pirates last night. 53 wins is what I wanted to say. They didn't score 53 runs. 53 wins for the Phillies, which, they're kind of a sleeper, I think, maybe, to get into the playoffs here. Not a bad team at all.
No.
4-2 last night over the other team in Pennsylvania, the poor old Pirates. Although the Pirates are 40-60, at least they're not sitting here at 20-80, The Cardinals over the Nationals 6-2. Cardinals 53-47. Now the Tigers over the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays can't beat anybody but the Red Sox. They just wear the Red Sox out. 4-2 last night. The Tigers beat the Blue Jays. Cleveland over Tampa 4-1. The Braves over the Diamondbacks 5-2. The Braves are 19 games over 500 at 60-41, and I would be willing to say last year at this point they were right around 500.
Yeah.
You know,
this is about when they made their move last year.
Seems like it.
Right after the trade deadline, and they made some early trades. They'd got Peterson earlier before the deadline, and then they added a couple of others.
Who did I see? Was it him that might go back to Atlanta? Where's he at right now?
San Francisco.
I thought I heard a day or two ago that he might wind up back in Atlanta.
He's on concussion protocol right now, but that
concussion protocol.
Madison Bumgarner, 6 innings.
Last night, yeah, he got hammered.
5 runs, 8 hits, 3 walks, 0 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Now 6-10 on the year.
Pitching in Atlanta last night. What's his record?
6-10.
6-10. I don't know. How old is he now? I'm just thinking about retirement.
We go about 32.
He's not ready to retire then. He's still got some left in him.
32.
And I've always wondered, can he not?
He'll be 33 on Monday.
We're talking about 14
33
years
on Monday. Can he not play first base for somebody and go in the lineup as a batter? Do you think he could make it?
Boston.
Yeah, right. Please.
First
please.
base has been a problem for them all year.
His ERA is under 4. He's not a bad pitcher.
No, if his ERA is under 4, it's not his fault.
I don't like him, but I think if he got on a team that made the playoffs, I think he could help.
And he may
pitch in the playoffs.
He may.
Those that might,
yeah, he's
willing to, a pretty big contract. They may have not be willing to take it on, but if you're willing to take it on, then.
I will say this about him too: he's a playoff pitcher.
Yeah, and I think he could still
up a notch.
I think he still could do that. He just got nothing to play for in Arizona.
Yep.
But that's his own fault because he chose to sign with them.
That's right.
What's Wright's first name for the Braves? Got his 13th win last night.
Right.
Kyle, yeah.
Kyle, okay. Not Wilbur.
Not Wilbur.
It was the A's over the White Sox 7-3, Astros 11-1 over Seattle. That's a statement game right there between two teams that should be headed to the playoffs.
Verlander's 14-3 now.
Yeah.
With a 1.82 ERA.
So is he the best pitcher right now in baseball again?
Seems like it. That's hard to beat. 14 wins and a 1.82 ERA.
Yeah. So if Verlander's the best, who's the top contender? Scherzer? And please don't tell me yes, because I'll tell you why.
Well,
they both were Tigers at the same time.
Well,
and the Tigers could have been contenders every year.
Scherzer in the National League, but the kid at Miami in the National League.
Oh, Alcantara. Yeah, he's good.
He's considered right now the front runner for the because
how old is he? 23?
He's pretty young.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah. How about that?
Because Scherzer's been hurt.
And he actually pitched last night, and he didn't pitch great, but a 1.99 ERA for Alcantara, and he is 26.
That's 1.99, right?
Yeah.
Of course, Brett, the guy that just quietly has been very good, is Gosling. The Dodgers.
I'm worried that
you don't hear a lot about.
Catman.
I'm worried he's about to fall off a little bit. He gave up 2 home runs in the All-Star game. His next start after that, he was not good. I'm worried that
2 home runs in the All-Star game shouldn't bother him. That's
but I think it does.
Yeah, probably.
They only gave up 3 runs, and he gave up all 3 of them.
Right. Yeah.
And it was in Dodger Stadium. I don't think it helped him to have to pitch in that situation.
Yeah, obviously it didn't. Let's go back again one more time. Astros 11-1, 15 hits last night in that win over Seattle. Astros 66-35 at this point. Brett's Dodgers beat the Rockies on the road last night 5-4. Any highlights there? 20-4 in July. That's pretty good.
Colorado cannot beat the Dodgers at home. Did I see how long a losing streak? And that's in Colorado.
You're going to have to turn Lenny up a little bit for me.
Yeah, and I think at the beginning of the year they did beat him a couple times, but since then I don't think they have at all. It seems like the Dodgers lost a series there. It might have been the first series of the year, but since then, yeah, the Dodgers have beat him maybe 7 or 8 straight times.
Rangers over the Angels 7-2. Padres 10-1 over the Twins. There are no details there. The only thing I really care about, nope, he didn't. It was Snell that pitched last night.
5 home runs San Diego hit.
Really? I just want to make sure it was not Gore that pitched that.
He's hurt.
Is he?
He is
okay.
On IL and elbow.
And
they were talking about, they felt like, but this was before Gore went on IL, that Soto might end up at the Padres. Said they had the farm system, and they went on, but they said the Gore issue might have an effect on that trade, which I thought he might be involved.
I've seen their.
But now that he's hurt, they said they didn't know.
One of the front runners for Soto, and if Ohtani gets traded, that they're one of the front runners.
Padres, yeah.
And I don't know if they could acquire them both, but they could end up with one of those two guys.
Okay, at their age and their potential right now, which one you taking, Gore or Soto?
Soto.
Especially with her.
Just because of concerns.
But what if I said no injury?
Well,
would that change your mind? I mean,
to me, Soto's already proven himself as one of the best hitters in the game.
I might it might come back to haunt me. But
position players also less likely to get injured. That and
they're literally they're both the same age. I mean, Gore might be a year.
It's very close. I think I would too. Like you said, he's been in the league long enough to prove what he can do, and Gore just hasn't yet.
Yeah, you don't know for sure yet.
And the thing with
Gore,
and Gore don't have to worry if he makes it long enough, he'll be a Yankee or a Dodger anyway.
And the thing with Gore,
well, the Padres will pay you.
Well,
I mean, they've
become
deep
a
pockets.
big market.
Yeah, they're right there with the Dodgers. With
they kind of
they paid Manny Machado.
That's
kind
of when they made that leap. Machado.
They paid Yu Darvish. I think has a pretty big deal.
Hosmer's got a big con. I think Hosmer and Machado about the same year.
Their problem has been their injuries.
Yes, it has.
Tatis hadn't played yet.
Right.
This year.
And the thing about you talking about Gore hadn't totally proven himself. He was good early in the year, but there's a growing period, and he's been around the league once.
Yeah.
Now people's making adjustments. Now he has to make the adjustment. But then again, maybe the injuries are the reason he's struggled here. Yeah. Maybe it's not the adjustment issue, but that's kind of what run through my mind is, okay, now they figured you out a little bit. Now you got to make that that next adjustment.
I want to go through the standings, but first let's take that timeout. We're running a little bit behind this morning, so let's get our timeout here. We'll come back and look at the Major League standings and then see how you rank those quarterbacks in that AFC West. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stifel Nicholas can assist you. Call Ford Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stifel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
And welcome back. Sports Talk, glad to have you with us. Another 40 minutes or so. All right, Rodney's done throwing some out here about the Cowherd comment. He says, I have a challenge here on that. He said about the best division of quarterbacks. He said in the 70s, the AFC North was not as it exists now, but the division then, Brian Sipe of the Browns, Ken Anderson, Bengals, Johnny Unitas, Colts, and Terry Bradshaw, Steelers. So, pretty good group there. Obviously, a more proven group, I guess, with well, let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, maybe, and then 4, maybe 7 Super Bowl appearances, because Bradshaw had 4 of them in that era. Kenny Anderson, I know, made 1. Unitas, just 1.
Kenny Anderson, I thought he was a point guard out of.
Well, Ken Anderson.
Ken Anderson.
No, excuse me.
But
Ken
was it Georgia Tech?
Anderson. Yes, he was. That Kenny Anderson was.
I think he was Kenny, and then later on he matured and became Ken, though. I believe you're right when you said
Once
Kenny.
he got to Super Bowl,
yeah,
he was Ken. The trivia question on him is, and I can't even remember the answer now, is where did he go to college?
Augustana.
It was something strange like that, wasn't it?
I was listening to you on the radio that morning.
Yeah,
I think
that's been a couple years.
Yeah, it's like
since we talked about that. But
Division 1 or 2 school.
Yeah.
Somewhere. Then
I can't believe you remember that, but because I looked it up, read it, and I still didn't remember it. And where is that? Where?
August, maybe Illinois, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would say that rivals it there. Now we're talking about. Tell me. Well, let's see. I can figure out who they are.
Well, I've got the way I would order them.
The way you'd order them.
Right now, yeah.
Order them for your team. I'll take one of those
on eBay. I wish I could order Washington one of them.
Okay, which one would it be?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes would be your first pick in that.
Who is clearly better than Johnny Unitas or Terry Bradshaw, and I never even saw those guys play. But Patrick Mahomes is better than those two guys.
Yeah, I would agree.
I would too.
I would agree. That
and second, at this point in their career, I would take Justin Herbert number 2.
Wow, just going into his 3rd year. Is that right? He's just going into his 3rd year, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I know it seems like second, don't it? But the time just goes by.
Yeah, he played, most of his first year and all of his second, and he came in with Burrow, and Burrow, missed most of the year because of an injury, and then played all of his second.
I'll say let's do the baseball standings, and then we get into that a little bit.
Okay.
Because I'll say this: I think the lack of quarterbacks. How we used to always say there's only about 10 that really can do that job real well.
Yeah.
I think that's changing. I think that we're in the 20s now.
Oh yeah,
I would
definitely.
say we're in the 20s now. So
more
that's taking
quality
a major
quarterbacks.
step. That's taking a major step forward. Here we go. The New York Yankees, 68 wins, 33 losses. Glance down here. That's still the best in baseball by just one game, however. The Astros are competing for that.
Wait. Best in baseball or best
Dodgers
in the American League?
Are the Dodgers ahead of them? No, it's the Dodgers. That's who I said the Astros. It's actually the Dodgers that are 67 and 30.
They played 2 less games, but it's a better winning percentage.
It is a better winning percentage. The Dodgers hold that title right now. Yankees 68 and 33. The Blue Jays second place are 12.5 back, even though they're 10 games over 500. Then comes Tampa at 14.5. The Orioles 16.5, and our lowly Red Sox there, Lenny, back below 500.
Below 500.
Yep, 50 and 51 on the season.
Lost 8 out of 10.
Well, my question is, who is the GM that's getting fired in a few weeks? I don't even know who the GM is anymore in Boston. But
Chaim Bloom is the GM,
and I'm even worried a little bit about ownership at this point.
I just don't understand. I mean,
how much does Theo Epstein want?
But the city of Boston,
to come back?
One thing about it, the city and the fans there won't put up with it long.
They won't put up with it. No, and I'm still angry, and I'm even angered more when they let Benintendi go for nothing.
Now look who he's playing for.
Frenchie Candera, and now all of a sudden he's back playing with the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
I know he's a rental, but still.
He's gonna play against you in those rivalry games now.
I mean, that's
about as bad as losing Damon straight to him, isn't it? And hadn't there been others? Haven't there been others that left and went straight? One thing I'll say, you don't hardly ever see Yankees leave and go to Boston.
No.
But you do see Red Sox leave and go to New York.
Not from Yankees directly.
Right.
Right. They go somewhere else, and then they've.
But Johnny Damon did, and I think
you were talking earlier about. Were you talking about? You were talking about the Red Sox.
That's even worse.
The Red Sox commentators.
Yeah.
Isn't it Kevin Youkilis?
It wasn't him last
Oh,
night.
it wasn't him.
He does
okay.
some of them.
Because I've seen
They've
him.
been using different players.
Okay.
And Eckersley does some. And this.
I thought Youkilis was pretty good.
This sounded like an older
okay.
gentleman, but I cannot recall who did it. I don't know if you can search and see who was the commentator last night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. But Youkilis, he's a little more politically correct. He's not going to hammer the players, and right. I think that's because he's just so recently retired.
Yeah.
He hasn't been out of it long. But this guy, he was all over that relief pitcher.
Speaking of, we said Boggs and Youkilis went to the Yankees.
Went straight to the
Yankees.
Yankees.
I think it was straight to them. Maybe.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not the player's fault. They have to do whatever happens, And Youkilis seems like he's still a Red Sox forever, though, being back in the booth for him. In the Central, Minnesota at 52 and 47 is in first place. If the Red Sox were in there, Lenny, they wouldn't be. But let's see, 4, 5, 6, so 3 games out. we'll move it 3 games out of first if they got to play in that.
Yeah, what they say, the White Sox aren't but like 3 games out. Is that right?
And they're below 500.
And they're below 500.
49 and
And this
better
said
chance to win their chance to win the division than make the wild card.
Yeah.
this says Eckersley, Euclid, Kevin Millar, and Tony Maserati
Maybe it's Maserati.
are the ones that rotate.
Millar's pretty good too. Millar, he's
Oh yeah, and I
very
hear him
comical.
on radio shows
Yeah,
a lot, and he's always good.
Yep. Yeah, he's the one. Is he not the one broke the details of the Jack Daniels in the clubhouse
Lester.
back in
Probably
back
so.
in the game back in the year when they won their first, maybe first or second World Series of the 2000s that they popped the Jack Daniels prior
Yeah.
to the games. Sometimes prior to the games, we got them going.
That's right.
Let's see. The White Sox. Actually, the Guardians are in second place, a game out. Then the White Sox 3 back. The Tigers 41 and 60. Kansas City 39 and 61. For some reason, though, Kansas City's. I know they don't have a winning record against the Yankees, but it seems like they give them problems. Yeah. The Astros are 66 and 35. I still like those Astros.
And have come off they won last night, but had come off a 3-game losing streak, even at that. So
Well, they must
you don't
have
call
one.
a mini slump. That was a mini slump.
They must have had won quite a few in a row before that, because in their last 10, they're 7 and 3. So 66 and 35, they lead Seattle by 12, Texas by 20.
I guess part of that was that sweep of the Yankees right after the All-Star break would have,
Yeah.
would have been.
Well,
I
that was
think he
just
beat
a-
Seattle a couple times.
That was just a doubleheader, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They swept them in a doubleheader. The Angels are 23 and a half out, and the A's are 27 and a half games out. National League, the Mets are 62 and 37. It's going to be a really good race the rest of the way between the Braves and the Mets. That's one to keep an eye on. Braves are 60 and 41, 3 games back. Phillies are 9.5 out. The Marlins 15.5, and the Nationals 29. Is that the biggest gap so far? Yes, it is. 29 games out of first place are the Nationals with just 34 wins.
Yeah, that's the worst record.
In the Central, the Brewers are 56 and 44. They lead the Cards by 3. You never count the Cardinals out. The Cubs by 14.5, Pirates by 16, Reds by 17.5. I know the Reds are only 38 wins, but after the start they had to the season,
they've played well.
They have. The Dodgers lead the West, as Brett wants me to say. They lead all of baseball with a 67 and 32 record. The Padres 12 out, San Francisco 18.5, Arizona 22.
Can you say that again about the Giants? What were they?
In case Mike's listening, 18.5.
After winning the division last year by 1 game.
They did. Over 100 wins, too. Well over 100 wins,
it was like
wasn't
107?
Yeah. Yeah. So what happened?
Oh, they came back down to reality.
Is it like that commercial, what a difference a day makes? What is that commercial? Where some kind of drink. You know the one I'm talking about, right? Because they show it like 100 times a day on ESPN. The Colorado Rockies are 23 games out of first place. If you look at the wild card standings here, and we will, you know who your division leaders are, but the wild card standings, and they're taking 3, right?
Right.
Taking 3 wild cards. Right now they would be Toronto, Seattle, and Tampa in the American League. Cleveland is just a game and a half out of a wild card. And get this, the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, I'd love to see them make it.
Me too, and my favorite team's the one right below them.
Yeah.
The Red Sox are 3.5 out of the wild card, but the Red Sox just don't deserve it.
And I still wonder about the White Sox. I mean, how are they under 500?
I don't know.
I thought they would be
that's pretty good
one
roster.
of the top teams.
Yeah, good pitching staff.
Well, they've been hurt, but now they're starting to get healthy, so we'll see.
They give up a lot of runs, 474 with a staff like that. But, yeah, here's my feeling. The Red Sox started awful, then played really well for about a month and a half, and then now they're back to awful like they were in the beginning. The Orioles have at least gradually got better all year long and still climbing that ladder. So that's one reason that it wouldn't bother me if they get in over Boston. But now they've still got their work cut out for them. But I mean, they're only 2 out
Well,
100 games in, they're over 500.
I've kind of come to the conclusion Boston, too, they were winning, doing real well there. But I'm starting to think, well, maybe it was – and not taking away from other major league teams, but the competition.
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
know, once they've got back in their division.
Well, they've done awful against their division.
They've showed again, what they played early in their division and got pounded, and now it's happening again, and it's I've come to the conclusion you can win against mediocre teams.
Butch says, "Thank God, high school sports and college football start up Monday." Now I know where he's coming from there, but no, they don't.
Not for us.
Not for
Nothing
us.
to talk about.
No. I know we're getting into the practices and that kind of thing, but I'm still looking at the third Friday in August before it really matters, and the first Saturday in September. I guess it is before. But I will say this: we're making big strides. We're getting there. We're getting ready to roll into another month. And one thing about it, once high school workouts start, the real practices, it does go by. It clicks off in a hurry. You got some scrimmages and some jamborees and some real games.
Right.
What will that Friday, the date of that be? Is it like the 19th or something like that? I don't have a calendar in front of me.
19th will be the third Friday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's when it'll start. Is the 19th.
And then right around Labor Day would be college football's opening. I think Notre Dame and Ohio State is Labor Day weekend.
Two of the most predictable sports there are on planet Earth: high school football and college football.
Is
Yep.
even worse.
You know what's going to happen?
Shelby's going to win the state.
No way. You know what's going to happen long before it happens?
Sorry, Maiden.
Yeah, it's as long as it's not split, it does. You know what I mean? I mean, it's hard. It's hard. I mean, they had their down year, and High Brighton won it. Remember that?
Yeah.
About 3 years ago, they were down for. I don't know how, but they were down for a year. But how in the world? They had their down year,
and they lost some
they lost
great
to Hendersonville
defensive
that year,
players.
They did
this past year,
two
but
big-time D1s.
The rest of their team just seems so loaded.
Yeah.
9 starters back on offense, including the quarterback.
I would bet.
But I don't care if they lost 22 starters. They're going to be.
Yeah.
They may not win it, but they'll be a contender because it's just like a factory right now. And every 3A coach that I have talked to that moved up, every one of them, it says, "We're glad we moved up."
Yeah.
We are glad we moved up. We don't have to deal with Shelby anymore.
Yeah, 3A is definitely more open.
It is. It is. Now, there might be Dudley, but Dudley isn't as consistent as Shelby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just not.
Yeah, they were great last year.
They were. And that was the team you had to go through. But who knows? It might be wide open this year. But it's just,
could be Hickory.
I'll be the first to say it. I'm tired of them.
Yeah.
Shelby just winning it over and over and over.
Right.
Let's do I'm not picking on them. I respect them. I respect the heck out of them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not here to hammer Shelby. But let's do what would happen if we did classifications and what's it called? Realignment by male student body. All I hear is Shelby would be 3A if you went by number of male students in the school versus overall students. But you can't do it that way because other sports play too. You just can't do it that way. It probably hurts their girls' sports.
Oh, that would really, yeah.
It probably hurts their girls' sports because they don't have as many girls as the other 2A
If
schools.
that's true.
Of course, they're pretty. Yeah, if it's true, right. I can't. I've had a few different people tell me that, but, I don't know how you.
They might just be looking for a reason to say Shelby's always got 100 football players on their roster.
Yeah, they do. Yep, and it never ends, does it? Seems like it never ends. What have they won? Like 6 out of 7, 7 out of 8, and Hendersonville put them out a couple years ago. And here's the part that gets me.
Yeah, Hendersonville and High Brighton are the two teams that have beat them in the last 10 years.
Here's the part that gets me, and then I'm going to leave it because we're going to focus on high school football, obviously, in the upcoming weeks. But here's the part that gets me about them more than anything else. As good as Reidsville is every single year, and as powerful as they are, running clock last year, and I think it was before halftime. running clock against Reidsville.
Against Reidsville.
In the semis. Was that not the Western? Was that the Western final? And they had a running clock. No, the Western final was Shelby and East Surrey.
Yeah.
Running clock in that one before halftime too. You know. What do you do? Right? What is it? Do like everybody does with the Yankees. You can't beat them, join them. We'll give it that. Yeah, that it is amazing what they've done. Let's get into this. I'll tell you what, let's take our final time out and then come back with the fourth quarter. And the fourth quarter will be about discussing those quarterbacks, how you got them ranked in that division. Back in a moment.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Call Mooney Insurance in Maiden or East Lincoln Insurance in Denver or visit mooneyinsurance.com. Times convenience stores are more than convenient. They're your neighborhood store, your store. With locations in Lincoln, Catawba, Gaston, Iredell, and Mecklenburg counties, there's one near you. Times convenience stores have the right items at the right price, from snacks, cold drinks, and light meals from the grill, and there's always a special to save you time and money. Times has what you need. Times convenience stores, there's one near you. Regardless of where you're going, there's one on your way. Remember, there's always time to stop by Times. Have you thought about when you would like to retire? One of your major assets is planning for retirement is time, and you lose a little of it each day. The longer you wait to start accumulating capital for retirement, the harder it's going to be. How should you plan for retirement? Start by calculating approximately how much capital you will need at retirement, then estimate how much you will have to put away each year. Finally, carefully choose the investments in which you will invest. Stiefel Nicholas can assist you. Call Fort Rembert today at 828-624-7300. Stiefel Nicholas, member SIPC, and the New York Stock Exchange. First Federal Savings Bank has been serving Lincoln County since 1940. And as it has been from the beginning, customer service is a priority to First Federal Savings Bank. They want to get to know you by name. First Federal Savings Bank has the convenience, the products, and the services that the larger banks have, but with hometown people that you see throughout your community. Stop in and visit one of their 4 convenient locations and see what First Federal Savings Bank has to offer you. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Whether it's a sit-down meal or a call-in for the drive-thru, Brookwood Cafe and Catering is the answer. A variety of meats, vegetables, and desserts cooked daily, or a hot sandwich from the grill, they have what you're looking for to satisfy your taste buds. If you need catering from 5 to 500, Brookwood has you covered as well. Stop by Brookwood Cafe and Catering at 202 Providence Mill Road in Maiden. Don't forget breakfast daily till 11 a.m. Open Tuesday 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Call 828-428-8944 to place your order today.
Covenant Church began as a vision of just over 100 people in 1984. Since then, Covenant Church has grown and currently located at 2168 Gastonia Highway in Lincoln. The Sunday schedule includes early morning worship at 8:30, Sunday school at 9:45, and morning worship at 10:45. Their ministries extend beyond Sunday. Visit their website at www.covenantchurch.church to see all they have to offer, and better yet, stop by and see for yourself. Covenant Church may be just what you're looking for a new church home.
If you ask around, you'll find Burke Mortuary has a reputation for excellence and commitment to value. They've built a reputation of trust for more than 35 years. Burke Mortuary is proud to offer personal attention, meaningful tributes, and the area's most affordable prices. They're also proud to offer you beautiful, state-of-the-art facilities. It's the perfect place to honor your loved one. So when choosing a funeral home, the choice is easy. Choose Burke Mortuary with locations in Maiden and Newton.
In the best of times, no one is more deserving of every opportunity, encouragement, and support than the youth in our communities. Parents, teachers, coaches, and sponsors struggle to stretch their budgets to continue help. Communities need a team effort. Times Oil Corporation, a longtime member of the community, established the Times Educational Alliance Mission, or Team Foundation. Since 2011, over $125,000 in grants have been donated in the community. Times Oil and the Team Foundation are proud to be community partners.
Welcome back. Beautiful Saturday morning if you can handle the heat. And I'm not talking about just getting out of the kitchen, because that, as a matter of fact, the kitchen's one of the coolest places there is if you got air conditioning. With this kind of weather, we have, one thing I look at is across the country how hot it's been. The places like Seattle, Minnesota, when those places are being in the 90s to 100, it's a real problem. It seems like just over and over and over. I liked what Rodney sent me a little earlier about let's dig up some more. I like what he sent me about the quarterbacks, and whether we agree or we don't agree, at least there's somebody there to challenge what the division we're looking at right now. He sent me something. I don't know if he was just naming. Okay, here's how he picks the division. And, of course, Rodney wants the Raiders to win, so he's got the Raiders on top. The Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Broncos. Now, I'll say this. I could see it ending just about any way. I don't see the Broncos on the bottom, though. Now, they could be, You never know about injuries along the way, but they've really done a lot to add to their team. He does comment on Ken Anderson, Augustana, Illinois. Ken Anderson holds just about every Bengals passing record. Well, those might go away in the next few years because, number one, the teams throw way more today than they did. And now, number two, they have the first real quarterback in Cincinnati since Boomer. I'll give Boomer credit.
Yeah.
Boomer was pretty good. But maybe I'll put it – I shouldn't say real quarterback. They've had some guys that are okay, but franchise quarterback.
Right. The
first franchise quarterback. First guy that, as long as he stays healthy,
well, even
he's
like
be
Carson
there.
Palmer was good
Yeah,
until he got
Palmer
hurt.
was good.
And Andy Dalton wasn't bad.
No, but I don't think they're either one of those are Joe Burrow, as long as Joe Burrow stays healthy.
Not in his category.
If he stays healthy, and he does seem.
But Palmer could have been
fragile.
in there as the alternate and got hurt.
Love Carson Palmer, I really do.
Yeah.
He's great on the radio too when he does. When he's on with Dan Patrick, I enjoy listening to him from his log cabin, big old. I don't even know where it's at, but I think it's Idaho or something like that. He's in the country, and he likes it. Here's Rodney's ranking of those quarterbacks, and believe it or not, he's got Derek Carr on the bottom.
Well, you have to.
Yep, he's got Derek Carr on the bottom. Want to guess his order? He don't have your number one, Brett.
Well, he's biased then. He must really hate Patrick Mahomes if he doesn't have him number one.
He's got the youngster on top.
Herbert.
Okay. Herbert, Mahomes, Wilson, and Carr. Okay. Will Herbert's career wind up being better than Mahomes? Now, Mahomes has a Super Bowl, and he's got just 2 appearances right now, a win and a loss. Is that right? Beat San Francisco, lost to – you guys are going to help me here on this.
The Rams.
Lost to the Rams. Just
now, who did the Bucks beat? When they won it a couple years ago.
That's why I'm asking you.
Was that not the Chiefs?
Was it? So they've been to 3?
I'm not
Chiefs, wasn't it?
I think he's been to 3 already.
Okay. Well, okay. I guess.
Oh no, they didn't lose to the Rams. The Rams beat.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Yeah. So it's just 2.
Yeah.
So it's 2. I was going to say if he's already 1 and 2, is he going to get labeled a Dan Marino? But I guess the big difference there, he does already have a win.
He already has one, and he's still very young.
Yep. Kansas City lost to Tampa. You know what the score was in that game?
It was low.
It was 31-9.
Okay.
One team was low.
Yeah.
31-9. Tampa just scorched them, and
but didn't it get ugly late?
I think it did. They beat San Francisco 31-20. That was a game that San Francisco led in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Was ahead in the fourth quarter. But yeah, that looks like the only 2 appearances for him right there. They were back to back.
Now, to me, Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes are the two best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I don't think anybody yet is close to them.
Okay.
So I don't. Yeah.
Well, if you don't think anybody yet is close to them, I guess my question to you, and Lenny answer as well, if that is your top two, and I don't know if that's Lenny's top two or not, but who is third? Somebody's got to be.
I mean, it could be Burrow or Herbert. Obviously, Brady, you got to put him in there.
Has Wilson slipped some?
Yeah, I think so. He has to me.
And because, I mean, how old is Russell Wilson now? Because Rodney has Herbert and Mahomes both ahead of Wilson.
And I'm
not sure I wouldn't either. I might have them both ahead of
Herbert
him too.
second.
I think everything to do with Herbert and his success is how will his supporting cast be, along the way. I mean, these other ones, the problem with the Chargers has been injury related.
Right.
They got a good roster, but by week 10, 30% of them are better out for the year. It seems like every single year. I don't know if
they just seem cursed.
Get over. Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they do. And I don't know how do you get around that.
Like they're good but not great.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm having some issues here. I don't know how you get around that. They are good but not great. But and they're the team that has only been to one Super Bowl, and it's way back, and it was
Natron Means.
Yeah,
he was the running back on it.
It's
been a while.
Mid-90s,
and
they got blown out by San Francisco.
Yep. Lanny's going to tell us he lost $100. It's just me and you, but I don't know yet.
That was the Chargers. You're right.
Yeah, Lanny lost his $100 on the Chargers that game, and he had like 25 points. Bobby Ross, the former Georgia Tech coach.
And Maryland.
Him and Coach Ford had set the press box 1 year. He got the little.
But yeah, so tell me once let's go back. I finally got this thing up and running where I need it to be. Who would you throw in there as your QB? Your third. Who'd you say it was? Because I was
in that division.
You're talking about overall now, aren't you?
No, overall.
Overall.
Well, I could take Lenny's ranking right quick of the division quarterbacks. How'd you have him?
I would have
Mahomes.
Mahomes number one. I like Wilson, but I'd have to go Herbert, and then Wilson, and Carr would be my last one. And that's not knocking Carr.
And that's how I would. Yeah, that's how I rank them too. But I think between Wilson and Carr is closer than any other spot. Yeah. I think Herbert's pretty clearly number two.
Do you? Like Lenny made a good point here, not knocking Carr at all, because if you start looking at the grand scheme of things overall, are those the top four in the AFC? I mean,
Josh Allen's
got to be in there,
and he might even be number three overall after Rodgers and Mahomes. I don't know about Deshaun Watson. I don't know how good.
I think at some point,
or how much he even gets to play.
You don't know what's going to.
I think at some point, Josh Allen could be number one.
Yeah,
and right now, I think I would take him because he winning the Super Bowl.
Well,
and if he won one, I think he could slip into the top spot. I mean,
once Rodgers either retires or starts to decline a little bit, I think it'd be between Mahomes and Allen as who's the best. And then Burrow and Herbert could catch him.
Evidently, Kyler Murray's the best quarterback in the NFL with the new paycheck.
Yeah. Don't know how good he could be if he watched film. But that's changed.
Bicker never watching film. I will not watch film. Oh Lord, I don't know what the deal is there. I'm just sitting here looking. You got Lamar Jackson. You got Josh Allen in Atlanta. What do we got there? Who is taking over for the departed
Mariota?
Yeah, we'll skip that one.
He was named the starter already.
Yeah, well, so Atlanta's fourth in that division.
Yeah.
fighting with the Panthers for that fourth
What's
spot.
called? He went to the Colts. Is that correct?
Matt Ryan, yeah.
Yep. Where I think they'll have a pretty good season.
And he's underrated.
Oh yeah,
He is.
Now I don't know how good. He's getting up there in years.
Getting up May years.
But
you know what? It's all about the protection for him.
Yeah.
And he's going somewhere where I think he's going to have protection.
But he's when he had a healthy Julio Jones and a good team, he was really good.
he was really good.
And where did Julio wind up?
Tampa
Tampa.
Yeah. Yep.
just signed this week.
He'll be the fifth receiver on
And
that
that's
roster.
good. I think that's good for him.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, he won't have to be the man.
No, he won't be
will not have
needed.
to be the man.
You know, when he strains the hamstring,
And
he
I'm
can
not
sit out a
knocking
couple
Julio
games.
because I think at one time Julio was the best wide receiver.
Yeah,
I'm not knocking
Yeah,
him.
he
Here's a
was
guy
for
that-
a few years.
He's still young, but he's in a good system that can make progress and get better and better. Is Mac Jones at New England too? But he's 1 year right now. We're just going to have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's.
I mean, sometimes it's
I don't know if he'd be in the top 20 yet. Though.
sometimes the system
You
you
know.
get into is
Cincinnati, Burrow, they're set.
I don't
they're
think
set for a
Mac
while.
Jones has the talent
Right.
of Burrow and Herbert.
I agree.
He is in a good system.
Let's not forget now Baker Mayfield in Charlotte. Who will start in game one, Baker or Darnold?
I think Mayfield is the starter.
I think that's it's just
Unless they want to build it up where Mayfield is the good guy that everybody loves because he's the backup and everybody wants him
I hadn't thought
in.
about that. Yeah,
and
They
then
could
he
start
eventually-
Darnold, and then when
he
Darnold
eventually-
that's what
has
they
a
always
couple bad
say. The
games,
favorite player on any NFL team is the backup quarterback. So for a while anyway.
especially when you have that controversy, the quarterback controversy.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
Just looking here, Burrow. You got Deshaun Watson could be the quarterback of the future.
Yeah, he's
in
just too
Cleveland.
much of an unknown right now to
Yep.
really factor him in.
How much can he focus?
Right.
On his game with everything that's been going on in his life for a while. The Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Did I see he's out for a little while, or did I dream that?
I don't know on that.
I don't know.
I was thinking like he's hurt maybe and going to miss a little bit of time. Dak Prescott. You guys, everybody knows how I feel about the Cowboys, but I think Dak
Dak's-
is underrated.
Yeah, I think he's in that 10 to 15 range.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I would say top 10. With his numbers, he's definitely top 10. I mean, made a mistake last year in the playoff game. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know if they would have come back and won that game or not, but they didn't have a chance. They did not have a chance to even try. Right. Denver. Who's Denver's? Is it
Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson.
I had the other one on my
Now,
mind.
who would you take between Dak and Russell Wilson?
At this point in their career?
I know
because
long
of their
term
age.
you'd take Dak,
But for one
if you
season?
had one for this year, say with Denver's team,
Probably Russell
still
because he
take
makes
Russell Wilson.
he makes fewer mistakes.
Yeah.
At critical times, right now he makes fewer mistakes. Detroit has
is Jared Goff still
Jared
there?
Goff. They do have Jared Goff. Houston has who in the world knows, right?
Miles Davis or something like that.
He plays a horn.
He plays he's jazz.
What is his name? Is it
Quarterback's
Davis
on the
Miles?
Maybe it is Davis Miles.
Or-
Yeah. They might as well have Miles Davis at this point. We know who's in Green Bay and where he stands, and we know now who's in the Colts and Matt Ryan. The Rams are set for a while.
And Stafford's top 10 in the league.
And he's got some age on him now.
Yeah.
What is he, 32?
He's probably older.
maybe
than that.
more, maybe 34, 35.
I
Yeah.
would say.
So
He's probably 35.
but they got what they wanted. They got a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah.
And they could win again.
And a great roster.
A great roster. I thought you were going to say and a great guy, but
Well, yeah,
Stafford
he is that.
a great
yeah,
guy.
he is that.
Jacksonville, I'm not saying they don't have the quarterback of the future. With
don't know.
help me with his
Trevor
name.
Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, it's
Just
too
don't know
early.
yet.
Too early to tell.
He don't have a supporting cast. yet.
Right.
That's the problem
And
that
he's
he's
got-
got to overcome.
He's a work in progress.
They had
with an under
the Urban
staff
Meyer
team.
situation. He went
Minnesota.
to a terrible
Kirk-
spot.
Kirk Cousins, Brett,
Middle of the pack.
middle of the pack.
Around 15, 16, 17.
What makes Kirk Cousins better? What is it that makes him a top tier?
Well, I think he's intense, and he can make.
He's a competitor.
He can make throws.
If that's what you mean, yes, he is a competitor, but got to have protection. He's got good receivers. So we'll see.
His decision making's questionable sometimes. He's similar to Baker Mayfield to me.
I bet they're not similar off the field.
No, probably not. Probably not at all.
Let's see. Kansas City, we know what they got. One of the stars of the league. The Raiders have Carr. The Saints have Jameis. I tell you what, I don't know how Jameis is going to play this year, but the Saints roster has really improved since the end of last season. They've added some really good pieces to their roster.
But they had a key loss
along the way.
And Sean Payton.
Sean Payton is a very key loss, and we don't know yet. Nobody's talking about this. We don't know about Kamara's status because he got in trouble right after the season ended.
And they said Michael Thomas is back on the field finally. I don't know how long that'll last, but at one time he was one of the top few receivers in the league.
And I can't remember who all else they added, but they added some pretty good pieces on both sides of the ball. And the new coach is help me with the guy that used to coach the Raiders. He used to coach the Raiders. He was the head coach of the Raiders for a year or two, and his name slips my mind right now too. I think he had a dad or something that was also into coaching. I asked somebody to help me with that. The Saints' new head coach. I can see him.
I heard me
I can
too.
See him. Defensive coordinator last year, right? Yeah, he was their defensive coordinator a year ago. Let's see. Rodney says
Dennis Allen.
Dennis Allen. That's it. Mac Jones will have a tremendous decline this year due to the Patriots losing offensive coordinator and offensive line coach.
That's true.
That's Rodney. He'd probably be running for his life. That's possible. The Texans have the outlet. Texans have the outlet mall with Davis Mills out.
Davis Mills
out of Stanford. A smart and underrated player. And then he says, yes, Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen he ought to know it, Rodney said. He used to be the head coach of his Raiders. That didn't go real well, but a lot of coaches figure it out and do a little better the second time around. You got Derek Carr. We talked about Herbert. The Giants. I think this is the final chance here for Daniel Jones to get it done. Miami, you got Tua. Philadelphia, you got Jalen Hurts. They've added him a tremendous weapon in the guy from the Titans. The big guy. A.J. Brown. San Francisco, they got two quarterbacks, so I don't know if that means they really don't have any. You know what they say.
You might as well go ahead and say Trey Lance.
They're saying Lance is his team
because
that's what I've
Garoppolo's going to be on a different team.
They keep saying he might wind up
soon.
in Seattle.
Seattle, that's what I've heard. Yeah.
New England, we already mentioned in Mac Jones. Seattle right now, their quarterback is from the trade with Drew Lock, right? Yeah. Is supposed to be. The Jets, I think they're looking good for the future. They've added some good pieces, too, in the offseason.
They did. I thought they had a great draft, too.
Yep.
Zach Wilson.
Tampa Bay, I think they're okay at quarterback in the near future. Yeah. Maybe not long term, but who knows? Who knows? He might only play 10 more years, but who knows? The Steelers, now that's one that's up in the air. Who will be the starting quarterback for the Steelers? Will it be the kid from Pitt, or will it
Kenny Pickett or Trubisky's there?
Or Trubisky, yeah.
Not Mason Rudolph.
Tennessee Titans, their quarterback is
Tannehill.
Not a bad quarterback.
Average.
Underrated. Yeah, average. Okay. And, okay, Brett, here you go. The final one. The
Carson
Washington
Wentz.
Commanders. You happy with that?
Yeah, I am. A lot of talent. Just got to keep him on the field.
Yeah, well, protection, once again. His key, kind of like Kirk Cousins. They're not the fleetest of foot.
No. Carson Wentz is a better athlete than.
Oh yeah, he is.
Than Kirk Cousins.
But he still can't take.
No, they don't want him. They don't want him running around.
Can't take the pounding.
Yeah.
And you don't need to take the pounding. This is the final comment coming here from Rodney. Trey Lance is starting San Francisco as 49ers announced this week that Garoppolo is free to pursue a trade partner. Garoppolo's still not a bad quarterback at all. Not a bad, and should be a starter. I mean, he can be.
Oh, yeah.
He's
better than some.
I'm not saying he's a top 10, but he could be in the top half. He could be in the top 16 if he gets on the right team. For Lenny, Brett, I'm David. We're gone. See you next week on Sports Talk.